That's the energy everyone's going to be on. So the best thing you can do is respect others' opinions. Don't save your energy. Focus on what you know, because the beauty is if you're adhering to truth, you're going to be reaping those rewards.
Student of the mind, steady studying my enemies. Anytime I rhyme, feel like I smoked a blunt of cannabis. Like PG, pass me the clippers, I'ma handle it. More like CP3, just warrior like glamorous.
What's going on, world? It's your boy Gemini Brown here, back with another episode of Nalo Kicking Knowledge. Today, we'll be talking about Jupiter in Gemini, and I'll be giving you advice on how the best way you can channel this energy. So let's get into it. If you're watching this right now, my album, The Sun is Gemini 2, is currently live on my website, GeminiBrown.com. Feel free to click the link below. I want to thank everyone who's taken the time already to purchase it, and a future thank you to everyone who does. I'm a true MC, and I got to tell y'all that I don't think anyone ever really knows the journey they're going to go on within life. But I'm just super grateful to be here, to be servicing these different sides of myself, as well as being able to share them. As you know, I'm a thinker. And being an astrologer is like being a time traveler, because I'm aware of how conditions were for individuals at certain periods of time. So I'm telling you, these last few years, I've been so grateful to be in this position, because I realized your talents never really have to die in this day and age. We have artists touring and making new albums at 60, 65, and that's really dope. So, like I said, I'm grateful. I'm gonna keep riding that wave of gratitude. All right, so getting to the astrology, let's cover some basics. What is Jupiter? Jupiter is the great benefact. It spends 1 year within each sign. And any students of mine, I really encourage you guys to just take time and look at the transits of each planet, like the orbits. How long does it take a planet to transit a sign and therefore transit the zodiac? And meditate upon these things. There is an ability to feel, let's say, the speed of that energy, or just the flow of that energy when that planet is in said signs. So Jupiter was in Taurus, a fixed sign. And if you really looked at it, y'all, we were all being called to slow down and get earthy, get grounded a little bit, indulge within the earth, okay? Play towards your values, develop new values, really walk your talk. I think that was an important part of Jupiter and Taurus. Not just learning new shit, but applying it. So we're going to kind of double down on that energy here with Jupiter in Gemini, but Gemini is a lightning quick energy. So one of the things that I want to tell you is to not spend too much time thinking about ideas. Jupiter is a naturally fiery planet. It rules Sagittarius. And it does well, it expands best with action. So the gift of this transit is going to be big ideas. You might think of some shit you never thought about. When you get that idea, you want to believe, you want to feed life into that. But the easiest way to feed life into that is making a plan, taking some steps. So you're going to want to stay focused upon your ideas, find ways to develop them, okay, and not fall in love with the thinking of it. This, as a Gemini, I'm telling you, thinking is stimulating for us. Ideas are stimulating, but growth and evolution comes when you put them into action. And I can just, keep referencing the creative works that I've been able to publish. So, that's like a testament to it. Stay focused. That's how you take a great idea and expand upon it and get the most out of it. So with that said, I got to tell you guys, so be aware of becoming a victim to your own curiosity. You're going to feel like you can do a lot. And I'm going to tell you, take some time, like this month, June, with all this Gemini stellium going on. Play around, try different things. But at some point, remember, the sun's going to eventually be in Leo. We want to eventually get fixed in whatever the hell it is we're doing. So we're going to go through a phase of getting the idea, getting the inspiration. Then going through another phase of like, oh, this looks good too. Oh, there's a party over. All these options. But South Node in Libra, we're going to have to choose. And for some, that might be overwhelming. So I'm here to let you know. Be firm. The universe is supporting wherever you want to go. You just got to have the confidence and the vision. There's a realistic aspect about this. We'll get to too, right? But you at least want to choose. Shit, who's to say you might choose and then maybe during a retrograde, realize that wasn't the right choice, but focus on getting out of your way. Focus on cultivating good habits. If it's hard for you to be decisive, this is something you want to develop at doing, just being decisive. And the North Node in Aries allows for a little impulsiveness with that. So we know we got Jupiter coming in and holding this trine with Pluto. And this is great for embracing our personal desires, our dark side, our shadow. Now, this is an interesting part here. So here's the advice for this part. And I could dress this up many different ways. And I think I'm going to come back to this because I can attack this idea many different ways. So we know Jupiter is considered in detriment here in Gemini because it's on the opposite side of the sign it rules. But Jupiter is like a benefit, like I said. And Jupiter is that wheel of fortune. It's like whatever you want, player. So in Gemini, there's a lot of options. Okay. Now, when we translate this to like others and looking at this in the collective sense, there's a lot of chatter or opinions. Gemini can definitely represent opinions. So remember, you're not the only one going through a Jupiter in Gemini transit. Everyone is. So what I know is collectively, we're going to have people being a lot more dogmatic about their fucking opinions. They may be treating their opinions like they're facts or deeply held beliefs. But if you're here and you have this awareness, I'm letting you know, don't be arguing with nobody over something that is their opinion and you have the logical awareness to know that, okay, this is not true. That's just how they feel. Don't try to change anyone's mind. There's a real lesson within respecting other viewpoints and opinions. If you're a student of the mind or seek to be, it's important because it allows you to learn how others think. And I'll definitely say one great, it's a part of me, when you're highly spiritual or whatever, there's some naiveness to life that you have. And I can say for myself, yeah, I was always aware of differences, but I think in the Jupiterian moral sense, I always kind of just thought everyone held certain, understandings. But then I learned about racism and all of that, right? But this is a year where we're going to be seeing people clinging firmly to their opinions. And the key thing to know is that these aren't really things that people believe. They will be fired up about it because Jupiter expands the ego. So people are going to be feeling smarter. We've all witnessed this. We probably all fucking expressed this in some capacity, right? You learn astrology and then you get around the non-initiated folks and, well, actually, that's the energy everyone's going to be on. So the best thing you can do is respect others' opinions. Don't save your energy. Focus on what you know, because the beauty is if you're adhering to truth, you're going to be reaping those rewards. Now that allows me to get into another pocket of this, which dials back to the video I made last week about releasing raggedy relationships. And I'm just going to reiterate here again. And I really feel like this influence is going to be heavy for mutable dominant people, particularly if your ascendant is mutable. Gemini can represent social expansion, new friends, all of that, right? But then we all know that like Scorpio's the 8th place of Gemini. In order for new energy to come in order to learn from new people, we gotta let that old stagnant energy go, right? But I feel like for the mutables, the lesson is going to be within selfishness. And in a weird way, it's going to make sense because going back to like Capricorn and Pluto having been there, I think the mutables are the last ones to really learn this lesson of selfishness. Or what Pluto and Capricorn taught us is that, like, yeah, you got to look out for you. At the end of the day, business is business, and the universe made us all into a business. So I think for anyone who maintained or reached a certain layer of success, there were certain social sacrifices or ways of being with your energy that you may have learned. I know for myself, this rings true. You know, anybody who I think, especially who offers a service, you kind of had to grow to know that, like, yo, you got value out here. Like, everyone's charging and your shit might be better than what they'll pay for. I think for the mutables, this is really going to hammer home. While I'm talking about it, remember, I offer transit readings. I can break down your Jupiter and Gemini transit, you know, along with others. You know, check out my website. So I think in a social sense, there's going to be a lesson around being selfish with your energy, right? Which for the mutables, I think we can look at this in the sense of allowing for more focus. For the cardinal sign, the social lesson is going to be in regards to being able to learn from others without having to be enticed at face value. And like I said, during Pluto and Capricorn, the world got into these bad habits of like, oh, you need 20,000 followers for me to be listening to you. Oh, how can you know anything if you aren't getting to the bag? It's a really ugh. I'm so glad we're moving on from that shit. But for Cardinals, I think, yeah, you're gonna have to readjust your lens of how you view things and be open to learning from different places or from different types of people, right? And for the fixed signs, this is really going to be about resourcefulness, not just investing, but like knowing what to invest in, what others are in need of, how you can service others. And then I'm going to leave this off here, but I definitely am coming back to this topic because, it's going to be major. I'm predicting that collectively, the things with the celebrities in regards to, their secrets are going to come out more. But I really foresee this, particularly in regards to like sex trafficking. I think there's going to be a huge expansion on awareness about that. And just certain things that have been in the shadows coming to the light. They could be, blurted out. But remember, Saturn is still in Pisces as well, okay? And we got a Saturn retrograde coming up, I think, the end of this month. So that'll be interesting. And then the next part, one of the best things you can do while Jupiter is in Gemini is pay close attention. Expand your awareness on your children. Now, we all know parenthood is a lifetime job. So your kid could be any age. But in one regard, you'll need to probably be that Jupiterian force in the sense of impart some wisdom onto them, right? There can be something in which you can help them learn. In the next regard, there's going to be changes in regards to like school and I think just the lifestyle of teenagers and children. I feel like for some people, your kids are going to need more attention. They're going to need more discipline, more Saturn, more structure. And I know this, because I know particularly my generation, we're really that generation of co-parenting. And no one teaches you how to do that. You figure it out. And for some, there are imbalances. So I think during that time, those type of things can come to a head, right? It can bring balance, but you're going to be forced to deal with shit that you've probably been tucking in the closet, particularly if it deals with your children. I know it's a busy world and all of that, but so one of the things I'm saying too is like if someone says something to you about your child, try not to be ignorant, defensive, but just try to be understanding, because you never know what can be truth and what you need to know. All right. So this is a little bit about Jupiter and Gemini. I hope you guys enjoyed. Chime in. Feel free to let me know what you think. Check out my new album, Son of Gemini 2, available at GeminiBrown.com. Till next time. Peace.